Welcome to the Top 5 channel. 5. Breathing. Congratulations, chances are that if you're reading this, and you're not a ghost, you have managed to figure out breathing. On the other hand, chances are you're also doing it wrong. Take a deep breath right now. We'll wait. If you're anything like most people, you raised your shoulders a little and puffed out your chest like a pigeon in heat. You probably don't see anything wrong with using your chest to breathe, since after all, that's where your lungs are. What the hell else are you going to use? So how the hell are we meant to do it? It turns out that breathing is one area in which babies are much smarter than you. Babies use a deeper type of respiration called abdominal breathing, which strengthens and makes full use of their diaphragms. It's only as we grow older that we revert to the more inefficient style. Luckily, you can train your body to go back to breathing properly, and over time, you can even breathe abdominally in your sleep. 4. Sleeping. Okay, so maybe you can't handle pooping, breathing or much else that you'd think would come naturally. But surely just lying in bed every night is okay, right? So why the hell do you keep waking up at 3 a.m.? You lie there, wondering what the hell is wrong with you. Will I oversleep? You wonder? How will I find the time to sit down and poop in the morning? If this happens to you often, you're not alone. Chances are, if you mention waking up like this to your doctor, it'll be diagnosed as a sleep disorder, and you'll be giving one of the tens of millions of prescriptions for sleeping pills handed out to Americans each year. You'll pop some Ambien, only to awaken a few hours later beating up a police officer. What on earth went wrong? So how the hell are we meant to do it? In this case, you're already doing it right. It's your reaction that's wrong. The idea that an uninterrupted 8 hours is the only sleep pattern natural to mankind is surprisingly recent. Before someone who wasn't Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, people in areas with more than 8 hours of darkness usually slept in segments, 3 to 5 hours of sleep, an hour of wakefulness and then another 3 to 5 hour nap. The hour or so of awake time was used for quiet reflection, sex, smoking and pretty much everything except staring at the wall terrified of insomnia. 3. Having babies. Obviously, giving birth to a smaller human might take a lot more effort than breathing. But when you realize that even the idiot deer that tried to jump in front of your car last month has probably managed to produce young, you would hope that we smart modern humans are getting it really right. Not so. Today, the majority of women in America are still directed to give birth in the lithotomy position. In fact, short of actually duct taping your legs together, this is pretty much the worst position imaginable to give birth in. And that's not the opinion of a bunch of hippies who think that childbirth should involve dolphins and mood lighting. The World Health Organization has called use of the lithotomy position clearly harmful, and recommended that it be eliminated. So how the hell are we meant to do it? Basically, the head down, legs in the air position has become standard in modern medicine mainly because it gives doctors direct and unrestricted access to your hoo-hoo. The thing is, having babies is a lot like making babies. There's no one position that suits every situation. The World Health Organization recommends giving women the opportunity to move around during labor and change their position according to what feels right. 2. Toothbrushing. Bad breath is a great way to lose new friends. Nobody wants to talk to or sit next to someone whose breath is outlawed by the terms of the Geneva Conventions. So thank goodness we learned to brush our teeth so much. Well, actually, our obsessive-compulsive toothbrushing practices lead to deteriorating oral health, including increased numbers of cavities and eventual tooth loss. Traditional wisdom, as dictated to us from a young age by school-visiting dentists with happy, anthropomorphic teeth printed on their shirts, is that we should brush twice a day, after meals. So how the hell are we meant to do it? Studies show that flossing is much more important than brushing. Dental floss actually removes the bacteria that clump together between your teeth, without scrubbing and stripping layers off them. But before you run to your dentist and smugly assert that Crack told you that brushing is bad for you, brushing twice a day is generally still believed to be the best practice. but you should do it away from meal times to give your teeth time to recover from acid wear, ideally, right before you eat or drink anything. 1. Sitting. We've mentioned before that long periods of sitting increase your risk of diabetes, heart disease and even frickin' cancer, no matter how much you work out when you're not sitting. We also mentioned that for some bizarre reason, sitting down for long periods of time means that you'll probably die earlier. What we didn't mention is that this is all because of the invention of chairs. The straight-backed chairs we're familiar with today have been around for thousands of years, but until recently, they were almost exclusively for really important people. We've still got words like chairman and university chair that show the connection between a throne-like chair and leadership. So how the hell are we meant to do it? Some experts on sitting recommend active sitting, which sounds about as relaxing as sleepersizing, using an exercise ball, kneeling stool or something else without a high back. There are also standing desks. But if you don't want to look like a cubicle worker whose office manager reads too many furniture design magazines, there's another option. A study used an MRI to measure the spinal disc movement of 3 groups of people, one sitting, one slouching and one lying back at a 135-degree angle with their feet on the floor. Subscribe this channel.